Okay.
Okay. Looks like the sound should be okay now. For those who just came in and just got the sound, welcome to our first webinar, open webinar. Today we're gonna go through a small presentation about the company. After that, we'll take you through our models and the equipment that we have. And then we're going to spend the rest of the time answering questions. A lot of you have already sent in some questions, and yeah, and if we go through all of those, we can take questions today if you write them down. If we're not able to answer all the questions, we will put them out later on, because we're not going to spend more than an hour today. We also promised to some prizes for some lucky winners. So in about 45 minutes, we're gonna do a random draw and see who will win the prizes. So that's gonna be one shoe bag with a pair of shoes, and then 2 lucky losers with just a shoe bag. Okay, my name is Sven Erik, and I'm the CEO of Equine Fusion, and
my name is Lars, and I'm working in the sales marketing department, taking care of the orders that's coming in.
Okay, but then I think we just start with the presentation. Nice. Okay, so the company is founded on the name Equine Fusion, and has to do with like fusion, the interest of horse and humans. So for the horse, it's like Barefoot, it's a friend, and Renate Weller is a professor in Royal Veterinary College in London, but she says that most of the lameness in horses is localized in the foot. And for us human beings, it's traditions, flock mentality. We do the same thing that we have already done, and we do the same thing as everyone else is doing. There's a lot of old science going around, and yeah, in the old days, the horse was just a tool for work, basically. So that's what we want to do. We want to take the best interest for the horse and the humans, and fusion them together with the knowledge and technology. Like I said, lameness is the most common cause of loss of use of the horse, and in 80% of the cases, lameness is localized in the foot, and that's Professor Renate Weller from the Royal Veterinary College. And our solution to this challenge is to have a sole that enables the natural function of the hoof, and then having a sole that reduces the stress on the joints during impact with the ground. And we have tested this, and we know that our flexible and elastic jogging shoe is better for the horse than a hoof boot made out of rigid material or iron shoes. And as you can see in the bottom there, in the landing phase, the horse can see up to 3.2 tons, the hoof. And with our jogging shoes, we reduce it by 43%. So that's why we believe that our jogging shoes contributes to our vision, happy performing horses. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, so if you have, if you are interested in how we tested things, we tested it together with a professor in Sweden, and all of that information is available on our web page. But this is the setup and how we did it. And for more exact data, you can also find that on our webpage. So what do we believe in? We believe to provide the rider with the freedom to use jogging shoes only when needed. By that, I mean that you don't need jogging shoes all the time, but when you're using your horse for something where it needs extra protection, you can choose it. Provide the rider with the freedom to select the correct jogging shoes for each application. That means that we have different shoes for different applications. Connect with your horse from the ground up by enabling the horse to feel the ground. Again, the flexible sole allows the hoof and the horse to feel the ground it's walking on. Allow the hoof from nature side. Allow the hoof to sink into and adapt to the sole. That means that the sole is so soft that the hoof sinks into the sole, and it gives takes the load over the whole sole and not only in the edges. And then provide increased safety for the horse and rider by use of a flexible grip. Our flexible jogging shoes provides a lot better grip on asphalt and hard surfaces than anything else, and especially iron shoes. We use something that we call 5 degrees of freedom. It's just to show that how our sole functions, because we have the downwards movement, the same as the hoof. We have the forward movement because the sole is flexible, so the horse is able to slide a little bit together with the sole, not inside, but together with the sole. And sideways, that means that the sole is so flexible that it goes out and in and follows the hoof. Torsion, that means that it can twist a little bit together with the shoe. And you can take the jogging shoe on and off to only use it when you need and to select the solution for each application. Yeah. So just a quick, who is buying our shoes? The Happy Horse team. As the horse and the owner relationship is that our people is mostly horse, have their horse as their pet, horse as their travel companion, horse as their partner in competition, and horse as their best friend, and horse doing work, and horse as a partner in play. That means that the people that are using our shoes often have a very close relationship to their horses. And our shoes can be used for a lot of different applications, from recovery to trail riding, weekend trips, competition, riding on asphalt, active rehabilitation, and transition. So we will get more to that later on when we show the different models. So why join us? We're easy to use, we're easy to fit, we have a large size range, we have very good quality, we have very good dealers with a lot of knowledge, we have good warranty policy, and if the horse could choose, they would choose our sole. Just a quick overview of our different models. We have 2 new models that we released last year, which is the trekking and recovery model. Active is our best seller from a couple of years in the past. We have the All-Terrain Ultra, the 24/7, and the All-Terrain. We will get in more details later on. And as accessories, we have the dampening pads. We have stud kits for the wintertime, and we have some glue for the 24/7. And new for this year is the shoe bag. So there is the feedback that we get from people is that the hoof moves better with our shoes. You can see the difference on the horse. No restricted movement, reduces the risk of injuries, which is very important. The horse looks more happy and the horse looks good. We have a couple of stories, but mainly we have one of the test riders that are doing endurance. They have been using our shoes for the World Cup in 2017 in Italy. What they see by using our shoes over time is that the horse is a lot better, both the hoof quality, the muscular improvement. They feel more secure when the use of our shoes, and it stays on despite of the challenging conditions. Very easy to put on. And also the rider says that they are less sore in their muscles after the race. And we think that has to do with the vibrations. And then it's also been used in the sports segments. So basically, long story short, there was a horse that had a lot of knee problems. And that, of course, was not good for the horse, didn't have the stability in training. And of course, the owner they didn't like that, and we're looking for some solutions, paid high veterinary bills. By using our training, you see that there's the more stability in training, less cost for veterinaries, just by decreasing the load. And this is just to show that there are a lot of different applications for our product, some user photos. And the same here as well. People are using it for everything from trail riding to just hobby, show jumping to competitions. Yeah, basically almost everything. So follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we also have a YouTube channel. So you can find us there. And yeah, thank you. That was the introduction and the presentation to us as a company. And okay, issue man. I thought we just have to, okay. Then we move on to our products. So yeah, okay, there we're back. We just need to adjust the camera a little bit. And I think we will start with one of the oldest models that we have in our assortment, the all-terrain model. That model is recommended for transition, hobby, maybe first time trying our jogging shoes, since it's the cheapest model that we have to buy, and it fits a lot of different hoof shapes. And as you can see, by installing it, it's important that you open it up properly before you take it on, so you have a good space before you slide it onto the hoof. Make sure that it's center in the back before you start to close it. You close it by taking those two flaps over each other, and it's important that you pull in the front strap, because as you can see, the front here moves down when you pull, which makes the hoof boot sit more snug around the hoof. And then you close the shoe and you're ready. And then we can move on to the All-Terrain Ultra. That model is also a couple of years now. The biggest difference between that one is that it's really soft. You can use it for lots of applications, from active rehabilitation, transition, hobby and leisure. It also fits a lot of hoof shapes. So because of the strap that goes around the side of the shoe, which tightens, we see that it fits also a lot of odd shaped hooves. And also the upper is very soft, which makes it very good if the area around the hoof and the bones are sensitive. When you take it on like that, you pull the back strap through the rings and then back between those two rings again. And then you tighten. And then the front strap just through that buckle, and then you pull. And as you can see, when you see from the side of the shoe, the band is going around, making it fitting the odd shaped hooves a lot better. Okay. Then we'll move on to the active model. And that is our that is the model that most people are using at the moment. It fits a lot of different horses. It's perfect for transition, trail riding, jumping, horses with narrow gait because of the slim inside. So you're not able to open anything. Yeah, and as you can see here, the inside there is no chance of opening during the ride. It's completely slim on the inside. And you have the front cover, which covers the whole front, closing it in. It tightens the same way as the all-terrain by taking those two flaps over and pulling the front, but we have a buckle on the side to secure the front flap. Good. And then we can take the recovery model, which is new from last year. It's made mostly to accommodate for horses that are very sore, need some extra protection in rehabilitation. If you need medical treatment, it's a perfect shoe for veterinarians, used as a sick shoe. Today it's watertight, so it won't let anything in or out, so you can use it in treatment. And as you can see, you just put the hoof in, you tighten the Velcro, and then you tighten the elastic strap around, and it will stay on. And if you need some ventilation, there are possibilities to open up in the bottom here. You can take out that part, or there are holes at the sides where you can drill to have water or fluids or flushing out. It's also in all sizes, from size, and it comes in black as well, black and red, and you have sizes from 7 to 16. And then we have the trekking shoe, which is also new from last year. There's a trick when opening it that if you take the Velcro and do like that, they will stay out of your way during taking it on. It's also perfect for terrain riding, jumping, trekking, trail riding, and many more. It's made out of really tough material. It's a super fabric, which can handle a lot of beating. When you open it up completely and put the hoof inside, there are two front flaps, as there is on all terrain and the other models. So you take those two over there. You pull in the front to making it fit better, and then you close the front flap. And to secure the front flap, we have two Velcros on the side to make it stick and also secure the front. And it has the same as the active and the all-terrain, the soft back part, so it doesn't rub. And also all of these models and descriptions and everything will be available on our online afterwards, in our new catalog, with everything, all the information that you would need, from how to find the correct size, the different models that we have. So you'll find that online afterwards. And then we have the 24/7, which is the glue-on shoe. That's something that shoe can stay on. It's the same as the iron shoes. You put it on, you glue it on, and you leave it on. And first time, we don't recommend more than 3 weeks, but after that you can leave it on for up to 4 to 5 weeks, depending on hoof growth. And make sure to check it after 3 weeks the first time, because we see that the hoof grows a lot more inside this shoe than others.
It's also important that when you glue the shoe, glue it on the side and in front, not in the hind area, because then you create trouble for the hooves.
And if you look at the hole in the bottom of the shoe, you see that that hole has a function, because when you glue it to the hoof, you create a closed chamber underneath, and that is something that can cause bacteria growth, and a lot of you would recognize it by, if you take off a standard shoe, you will see that, or you will smell it. But if you take this off, there's no smell at all, because the flexible sole together with that hoof makes the shoe function as a pump. So when there is dry outside, you're pumping air and flowing air underneath the hoof. And when it's wet outside, you're pumping water. So then the water flows underneath and cleaning it. It can look like there is room for big stones to come in, but they won't come in. We have a lot of experience where there are a little bit of small sand that could come in, but that goes out again, but no big rocks.
And when you after you have glued, put the glue on, you put the hoof in, and then we have these straps here. Important to start with the strap on the lower strap and start tighten it like this. Put the other one like this, and then you start to pull. So now you can tighten. Like that. So you see it's very, very close. And after you have done this, you use
just some cutters,
and you pliers. Can just take off so it's out of the way. And the straps can be on for a while, or after the glue have
settled or dried. Yeah.
Then you can just take them off. So it's quite easy to do it.
And the unique thing about this is by having those straps here, you create the pre-tension of the shoe around the hoof, making it so after you have tensioned the shoe with the glue, you can put the foot down and start with the next one. You don't have to have it up in the air until the glue is drying, because the pre-tension keeps the shoe in place until the glue has dried. And we also see that by taking it off, being a little bit careful when you take it off, you can use it many times. So when you take it off, you cut the front too.
And if the glue is on here, you use a knife for a similar thing, just to rub like that, and then you can easily bring it off.
And to use it again, the only thing you need to make sure is that there could be some glue left here, but as long as you rough it up with some a rasp, hoof rasp, but you need to create some pores or something for the glue to fasten, and do not use sandpaper, because that is just creating a lot of debris inside those holes, so it won't hold. So you need something that a Dremel or something like that to do the job. And there is also some accessories that we can show quickly. We have the dampening pads.
Pairs.
And installed by size by size. So there we also have 10 sizes, and there are some lines on the pads to show that where to cut to get them to be a slim version. And there's a stud kit with studs inside and the tool that you need to install them. So you put this tool right here. You put that into a drill or a screwdriver where this fits, and by adding pressure, you can install. And there's also an explanation of how many studs you need for the different sizes.
Of course, when we have a glue-on shoe, we also have the glue itself. I don't have the gun here, but this is the glue. 2 component. You push it into a cup or something, and you mix it for a few seconds, and then you use a knife to brush it on the walls and in the front lap. So it's quite easy to use.
And lastly, we have new for this year a shoe bag, where it's perforated in the back, making air flow through, so you're able to, so the boots can dry within. By pulling in the top, you close it down, and you can either hang it in the stables. You can put it on your back as a rucksack, or you can fasten it on the saddle to have the spare shoe inside it. So this is quite useful. Okay. Anders ta opp et bilde av oss. Jeg må stille inn kamera. Then we can go back to showing ourselves again. Okay, then we have some questions that we have got beforehand. So I think we just start. The first was the different function of the different models. That's all something we already
have gone through.
Yeah, we've gone through that, and the rest can be found in the catalog.
Yes.
Online. And then you have, how do we find the correct size? And if you go to our webpage, let's see if we can share the screen. Yes, there we are. If you go to our webpage, you go to products, you choose a product. For this case, we just choose the trekking one. And underneath there is find shoe size. So if we have a hoof that is 14 centimeters times 14 centimeters, you see that will be a size 14, and it also comes up with the range. And if you have a hoof that's 14 times 13, there will be a 14 slim. So it will also differentiate from regular to slim in those areas. And if you need help measuring and don't know how to measure, you can push the need help measuring underneath the find shoe size, and you will be guided through how to measure and find the correct measurements to be able to use this calculator. Good. Then we have how long time does it take before the horse gets used to wearing jogging shoes? Because the person who sent this question said that the horse moves a little bit weird in the beginning.
And that it depends a lot, but normally just after hours the horse is used to it. But of course it can take also some days, but it's not a long time we are talking about. Mostly after a few hours you can see at the horse whether it works or not without problem. Yeah.
And yeah, of course, if again, our sole is soft, so it's a very different situation for the horse to be able to move around and feel the ground and the cushioning. So yeah, that will be different. Then, which models do we have which are best for twisting?
So that's absolutely one of the models that should be taken into consideration. Also, our active model have been proved very well for these applications. And of course, the next thing is the glue-on shoe, but then you have a shoe that sits all the time. So our recommendation is the all-terrain Ultra and the active model as the preferred models.
Yeah, and especially if you have a hoof that has an odd shape, you need to go for this because of the straps on the side, which forms it a lot better to the hoof. But if it's a normal hoof or a normal looking hoof, also the active model can work, as we said. So, and there's a new question. Which models for sicknesses like laminitis?
Yeah, lucky enough, we have more or less the same. We have the same sole on all our models. But based on feedback from our dealers and end users, the Ultra and Ultra is a very, very good model for these applications. So that will be our first choice.
But of course, also in these cases where there are sickness involved or diseases, it's very important that you consult with professionals first, because you never know if there is some other things as well, which can be wrong.
Absolutely, and not forget the recovery issue that we also receive good feedback at the moment for different diseases.
Okay, a new question. The horse has underrun heels. Which model do we recommend for that?
That's a difficult one because it's different all the time, and we recommend that most of the time you can talk to our dealers. They are very qualified to answer that questions, because it's difficult for us to say, but so we like to consult the dealers first of all.
Yeah, they have a lot more experience than us, and they also probably know you as a customer better than us. So we would like you to consult with our dealers for questions like that. Okay, next question. Can the horse use the shoes 24/7 or the whole day over a certain period without taking them off? And which models would we recommend for that?
Yeah, all our models except the glue-on shoe 24/7 we can take on and off. It's no problem to use them 24/7, but we don't recommend it. It's good for the hoof to have some air in between, but it's up to you as a horse owner most of the time to decide what to do. But the good thing for us is all of our models, except the 24/7, take them on and off all the time. But as I said, the hoof like to have some air in between, so it's a good thing to do.
And if you need if you need to use one of our models 24/7 because of some injury, or that the hoof needs protection and so on, it depends on how much you're going to use it. But of course, the Ultra and Ultra is breathing, has a lot of breathing capabilities, and also if you need to leave it on for a very long time, maybe 2-3 weeks, it's the 24/7, which will be the best.
I think so.
Yeah. Can we use? Next question is: can we use different models on the front hooves and the hind hooves and create some unbalance for the horse?
I don't think it's a problem to have different models, as long as it's models from Equine Fusion at least. Should be any problem with that. We have the same sole, so there's no difference there. And we know that there are different hooves in hind hooves and in front hooves. So it's about which model that fits the horse most. But a little bit skeptic if you are using Equine Fusion in front and competitors on the hind hooves. We know that if you are using our hooves, it's up to you to choose. It works.
And also, there's only one thing to consider, that we don't, now all our models has the same sole. But if you're using one of our older models, like the Ultimate or Ultra, they have a thinner sole. So that could create some unbalance, or some that the horse will feel that something is a little bit wrong. But as long as it's a model with this all-terrain sole, you should be fine.
Yeah.
Which model has the softest material on the inside of the shoe?
Then we talk about the upper part, I believe, and then it's simple. It's the all-terrain Ultra, and it's the Recovery. That's the models where we have the softest material on the upper part.
Okay, good. So what is the difference on our soles and soles for competitors?
Mainly the way it's built. We are using rubber. We have a patent on the sole, which is very, very good, and maximum dampening and stability, etc. That's where we are, and that's where we see we have an advantage to our competitors. So the sole is very important for us because that is what the horses feel.
Yeah, and we strongly believe that the way we build soles is the best way. Is the best way to go for the horse, and we have a sole that we've been spending a lot of time developing over the years. So, and we have really good feedback both from testing and from users and veterinaries and everything. So it's well documented.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and why should people use our shoes instead of iron shoes?
The horse's welfare is important because how the hoof is working is better for the hoof using a soft and flexible sole as we have compared to a rigid and iron shoe, for example. So for us it's easy. Horse's welfare is number one, and our sole works with the hoof. That's the main thing.
And also the environment for the horse has changed. Before, when the iron shoe was the main thing, they were using the horse for work, and it was pulling things and so on, but it was out in nature. The ground was soft, and so it was more of something that didn't wear out the hoof, some protection. But now we have made surfaces like gravel, asphalt, and everything, but to still use iron shoes doesn't make sense, because now instead of a soft ground, you have a really hard asphalt ground, and you're riding your horse, you're using your horse, so it creates a lot of damage in the joints. It would be just like if we are going running in iron shoes, our knees would be broken. So it's possible to see the similarities around that. So that's why we believe in this soft and flexible sole instead. So some questions again. Tips and tricks. Can the shoes be washed in a washing machine?
Oh yeah, it's both yes and no. You can see in our product catalog online, for example, where it shows. But normally it works fine.
So in the back of the catalog, there are some technical information on each model. There you see some sole thickness, and it's also one point saying machine washable, and it has also some instructions. So again, go online, see our catalog, and you can see which model that you can put in the washing machine, and and which ones you need to hand wash. But all of them can be washed, of course. Grass and other objects are gathering in the Velcro. How can I avoid that?
This is an important thing because a lot of our shoes have Velcros in it, and it's important to clean it to have a longer life of the shoe. And of course, you could use a specialized Velcro cleaner brush, which there is out there, or just a normal brush. But it's important to clean the Velcro regularly basis, so the shoe lasts longer. That's the main thing.
Good.
thing for us. In some cases, we use the All-Terrain Ultra, but to be honest, normally we do have good models for that.
Yeah, we do not really have any good models for that. If there is, if there is a big difference between the length and the width of the hoof. Okay, let's see. The shoes are rubbing. What can I do?
You can use a type of gaiter. Of course, make sure you have the right size. And if this is a big problem, you can consider to use our 24/7 model.
Yeah. And then we got an interesting question. Yeah. Can I use the Equine Fusion shoe over the iron shoes?
No, we don't recommend this. That's it's possible for a transport situation maybe, but not if the horse is staying in the box. We don't recommend it.
Okay, and then the next one. My horse has very narrow hooves. Which model do you recommend?
We have two types of shoes in almost all our models. We have a slim type and a regular type. So of course the answer there is try the slim version of the hooves, of the shoe.
Yeah. Okay, then the next question is, I'm about to buy shoes, but my hooves aren't freshly trimmed. Should I go down a size?
Normally not. Of course, you should consult with your trimmer or etc. But we have quite large, span between sizes, which allows for some difference in size. So it's not necessary to do that.
Okay. Next one is, water comes into the shoe. How can I prevent this?
I don't think you can prevent it, but you can get the water out again. And we have talked about it before. If you drill a hole, or you stamped out the hole in the sole, or you drill a hole in the side.
There are a marker in the side here where you can see where you should drill to make it, to have the hole perfect. So that is something that we have on all our soles, in the middle of the side here. Okay, next question. What is the best model for rehabilitation?
Oh, that's normally recovery and the All-Terrain Ultra. That's the two most popular models, no doubt.
Basically, we can say that the recovery one is for where the horse is standing still in the box and the clinical situations, and then for the active rehabilitation, we go for the All-Terrain Ultra, where the horse should move around a bit.
That's correct.
Next question: should the shoes be treated with something to make it last longer?
No, that's not necessary. You don't need to do that.
No. The elastic strap on active has come loose from the plastic buckle. Is it possible to repair this?
Yeah, you can contact a local shoemaker or something like that, and he will help you probably be able to switch it on again. So at the moment, that is the advice that we do.
And then within the same area, the elastic strap on active model has been torn. Is it possible to repair it and eventually buy a new strap? Is that something that we can?
Yes, this is what we are talking about now, and we are preparing on our web shop and for our dealers so you can buy spare parts out of this. So it will take a few weeks before we are ready to do that.
Yeah. Okay, and then there's one of our customers saying that I'm struggling with extremely bad smell in the shoe even after I've hand washed them, and she's afraid of thrush inside the shoe. Do we have any tips?
No, not exactly, but there is a lot of different products on the market which you can put under the hoof to minimize this. different brands, etc. So I think it's it's better to contact a shop or something like that who can help you with these kind of products.
You can try the hand wash the shoes with soap, but
Yes.
but then again, you should probably go to a local dealer or something and ask for which kind of products there is for something like that.
Yes.
And then it's a question about in accessories. I've lost the brass screw on the side of the active shoes. Is it possible to buy a new one?
Yes, it is. It's available with all our dealers and in our web shop, of course. So that's available, yeah.
And then there's a question about which model can you put studs on for the winter time?
Yeah, again, now we are lucky because we have the same sole on all our models, so that's possible, yes. All our models you can put studs on.
And within the same, there's one wondering about how many studs there is in one package.
Yeah, we have 36 studs in a package, but depends on yourself how many of them you will put in the shoe. But there should be enough studs for doing it.
Yeah, and then like I said before, there are some instructions in here in the bag on how many studs for each of the different sizes. So it should be pretty easy to see. And then there is a question again about studs. Can we use studs when when it isn't winter and there isn't snow and ice, but just in the woods where there are mud?
Of course, you can do that. Of course, you can do that. But it's like a winter tire for cars. You don't use it normally on very hard surfaces like asphalt, etc. But of course, you can use it in mud or in track in the woods, etc. No problem. That's fine.
And then there is a question that we get from time to time that the studs could be a little bit difficult to install in the sole. Is there something I'm doing wrong?
I don't think you're doing anything wrong, but it's important to use a kind of force to push it through the rubber. But at the same time you're doing it, it's easier. You can also use pre-drill a small hole or something like that. That's also possible, but just use some force to get into the rubber, and then it will be quite smooth after that. And it's also important to turn it long enough into the rubber. Don't stop before it getting inside. That's another important thing.
So it's only basically the small tip on the top that should be outside the sole. Okay. Then there's a question about pads. Are you selling slim pads for the slim version of the shoes?
Yes, we are now launching soon new pads, and there are cutting lines for slim versions as well on each pad, so that should be possible.
And also on the pads that we have, you can see there are certain lines going where you can cut. So on this is a size 13 pad, and you can. And if you look at on the side, there are a line going on the side, on both sides. And if you follow that, they should fit the slim versions of the shoes. I think it's time to draw a winner for the prizes. And then we're going to do that openly. So we're going to share the screen and just use a randomizer. So it's not we that are doing this. Okay, we have put in some names from the participants list, and we're just gonna let's first do the big prize, the bag with one pair of shoes. You can choose the shoes yourself afterwards. And then it's Oh, okay. So Greg is the winner. So basically, just send us an email on contact@equfusion.com, and we'll sort out the shipping, and you can choose the model. If we don't hear from you within next week, we're gonna contact you. So okay, then it's one shoe bag. New round. And Rose. Congratulations. Again, please contact us on contact@Equine and we'll send you the shoe bag. And lastly, also a shoe bag will be Linda. So please contact us, and we'll make sure that the shoe bag finds you well. Yes, and there are some questions that come in now. Would there ever be a shoe that's a bit lighter for the minis? They are a bit heavy with my ponies. How do you best clean the shoes? Now I put them in the washing machine, but can the stitching take it? The lightest shoe we have is probably the trekking, isn't it?
Oh, it should be the tracking, but is it maybe it's the sole she's talking about?
The lightest shoe will be, of course, the 24/7, which you can glue on, where there are basically no upper materials. But if you want one of the models with the upper, we have a lot of good experiences with the trekking on minis. So yeah, and to best clean the shoes, you can go to our catalog, see if it's washable in machines. If not, you can hand wash them.
Use soap.
Yeah, use soap and water, and that will be enough. And on some of the models, it will be enough just to flush them with cold water. Is it possible to repair the buckle lip on the Active in the future? This one rips on me, and I would be able to fix it. The shoe itself is still excellent. I love the shoe. I'm guessing you mean this one.
Yes.
On the side. And like we said.
Yes. Yeah, within a short time we will launch a repair kit, so you can be available on our web shop or with our dealers. So that should be possible in the near future. Yes.
Yeah. Is there anything? I don't think. Before we stop, is there? Okay, and I see that we should redraw the boots before we stop. So we'll we're not gonna send them to Greg because he said that we should redraw them. So okay, let's do that, and that will be the last thing we do today. So let's see who the new winner of the shoes are. Okay, Greg, it looks like we have to take you out of this wheel for the next spin, but let's try again.
Yes.
Okay, we have a new winner of the shoe bag and the shoes. So, Jordi, just contact us, and we'll make sure that both the shoe bag and the shoes finds its way over to you. And then I see that we're out of time for today. Hopefully we can do a lot more of these events, and maybe next time we will not be at the office. Maybe we should be in a stable somewhere. Yeah. So it was thank you for everyone who participated. Thank you for all the questions that we got pre-hand. If there are some questions that we haven't responded to, we will do that and put that out on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah. And until next time, if there are questions, please just send them to us. We are available on all platforms. So, and we will be able to answer questions on all platforms. So until next time, then bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.